And welcome back to another BobBlast. Hi, I'm Bob Burridge, and this one is the fourth installation of landscape compositions. Four of my favorite ones that I use all the time. So the last time, as you recall, I did a quick little one of where everything happens on the horizon line. This is strictly composition we're talking about. So you have everything on the horizon line. Lots going on, but you still end up there. This one over here was asymmetrical, off balance, where you have a lot of stuff going on over here and one little thing going on over here. This one, this was called tunnel vision. You have something going on both sides of the painting and your eye goes right to that one spot. Now the fourth one, or the last one that I use, is the golden section, which means where do I put the focal point in a painting without getting out my rulers and ratio guides and things like that. It's a great subject. It's called the golden section, also known as, I like to call it the 1/3 principle, where you divide the painting into 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Here's a good example. It almost looks like a tic-tac-toe. And where do I put the focal point? Well, it might be here, it might be here, it could be there, but no, I made it pretty obvious. So that's just the composition, the design. This is another one, low horizon line. That's that composition, low horizon line. But because this little village is in that 1/3 spot, it makes it very pleasant. So you have 2/3 of quiet space, 1/3 busy area. So it works really great for me. Here's another one, high horizon line. Lots of stuff going on over here, but still the eye is eventually going to go over here, to this one over here. This one I like to practice on my warm-ups in the morning. Here's one pretty simple. I just warm up with paper napkins in red and yellows. Same composition. That's all warm. Here's a cool one. I wanted to use green one day. So that's the green. Fun to do, just compositions with contrast and stay with one composition and different color combinations. Hey, let me show you one right now. So without getting out all your rulers and measuring sticks, I just make it up at this point. So I'm going to show you just real briefly, very briefly. I eyeball it. I do this on the canvas, I do it on paper. This is not an engineering course. So one of those spots, I will then determine that will be the focal point. So I'll kind of give you an idea. I sketch it all out. I also look for this in nature because it's all out there. And I might sketch a little bit like this, bring in another. As the colors come closer to you, they get darker. See, it's starting to look like it's fading here because it's going further away. And of course, with white, I'm going to get rid of that other tic-tac-toe line. All right, look, you'll see this in nature all the time now, right? And your eye will always go to that spot because it's a real pleasing spot. It's kind of an aesthetic kind of a thing. Right? Books have been written on this subject matter, and it's actually pretty exciting. It is for me. But for someone that doesn't have a whole lot of time, this is a great little technique to find the perfect golden spot. And you see, but then you don't make it obvious that there's other lines in there too. All right, I'm going to let this dry, and now I'm going to add color to it. I'll show you what I do. That's the next step. So here's another set of paintings working with that composition. And I've already started to put some tint on top of this. Was a black and white. And the tints I like to use are transparent paints like this. This is marigold. I'm using a paper towel. I like to use the paper towel because great, funny things happen. Look at that. So I have nice contrast. There's the focal point. There's a lot of other things going on, but your eye, my whole point of this painting is I want everything to go here. I'm going to soften some of the background a little bit. When you soften the background, the eye's going to go to the part of the painting that is in focus. So I've softened it even more. A little gentler composition. And I'm still using this orange. I'm going to jump over here while that's drying a little bit, using the same towel. More marigold. I'm going to add a little bit of this hot pink in here, see what would happen. I decided to live dangerously. So that's the marigold and the opera. Kind of fun. Oh, I like this. I was able to create these bubbles with that rubbing alcohol. That's pretty neat. I like how this is coming along. I'm going to get those clouds and capture the clouds to a light blue. Add a little bit of hot pink. This light blue that gives it that wonderful periwinkle color. And adding even more white. I'm going for a lot of contrast here. So, and you do all your mixing on the palette or on the table, not here. Now I'm going to really emphasize this golden section. So that it's starting to crowd the middle a little bit, so I'm pushing it back. See? And it doesn't have to be huge. I'm making it even smaller. And this is the 1-inch brush. And I want to make it even smaller. Oh, nice. I like to paint places, I make it all up, but I like to paint places I wouldn't mind going to in my own mind. Let's really get this down into here. Don't forget the negative space painting underneath. There you go. Open that up a little bit more. Give this tree some personality. Doesn't always have to be straight up and down. There we go. I'm going to add more white over here. It's almost like a cloud formation coming up. Oh, this is going to be nice. Remember that black and white painting? And the reason I start off that way in this particular series is it really helps me to stay focused on the focal point. And I mean, there's other things I can do in here too. So colors when they come closer, they're going to get darker. So I'm going to add some dark blue, even some green in here. Let's really scrumble this thing. And if I'm going to be just wild and crazy, I am. Here we go. I am going to be this way. There we go. Why be half safe? Now I'm going to take the paper towels again. Tone it back a little bit. It was too much in focus. Because that's all I saw. Just a little bit of green in here is a kind of nice little touch, just a little bit. Again, you don't want to take away from the focal point. You can't have two focal points. It will hurt your eyes. There we go. So I really like where that's going. So I'm going to stop. Coming back to here. Maybe spend a little bit more time on the sky. And lighten up the sky. Which gives this a little more contrast too, right? These kinds of paintings, they can go so many different directions. There's so many things you can do. There's no one right way. That's what I like doing, a lot of these free style paintings where I just make it all up. Focusing, of course, on the composition. So now you know the 4 compositions that I like to use. They're not the only ones. There's so many more. Diagonals, zigzag. There we go. Well, and I think I'm going to brighten this area up just a little bit as a surprise. Yeah, like sun coming up through on the other side of that. Oh yeah, it takes the eye way back there. That's nice. Well, I don't want to tickle it to death. I'm going to stop at this point. But now you know all four of them. That was fun to start off black and white. So you have the composition down and the rest is transparent paint. Good transparent paint, by the way. And, thanks for watching. I hope you share this with everybody and have a great springtime. Get outside, walk, look at all the flowers blooming, look at the landscapes, look at those compositions, and take your camera. Take lots of pictures. Practice compositions with just the camera. They're fun to refer to later on. I'll see you on the next BobBlast. Thanks again for watching.